Hey Team Hot Room, it's Heejin and I'm here with Laura and we're so excited to share some really big news today, and I feel like we should also maybe unpack a little bit of the last 12 years that we have existed as the Hot Room. So
there has been a lot that's happened in 12 years.
Overwhelming. So when I think about 12 years ago, I remember very clearly the day that I opened the doors to our first class. It was a Tuesday, November 18th. I specifically was teaching a 9:30 a.m. class, and back then all the classes were 90 minutes long,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Now, you were not in that very first class, but I do remember before we opened the doors, we sold some special annual memberships. And this was before, again, anything was really like fully built, right? And we were saying, we're here, we have a special number of VIP annual memberships, and I very clearly remember seeing your name come through.
Yep.
Actually, all the names come through. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to meet this person, right? So I think just asking, like, when you think about 12 years ago, what made you even sign up to be a member of the Hot Room community before we even opened our doors?
Yes. So I was kind of new to the Indianapolis area, and prior to being in Indianapolis, I lived in St. Louis, and I started the original Hot Yoga series because I was a runner. I had run a marathon, and I was just curious if I could find another form of fitness activity that would give me that level of workout and that kind of like endorphin high that you want from exercise without being so hard on your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found Original Hot Yoga in St. Louis, and I fell in love. Like, first class, and this is not everyone's story.
Yeah.
First class, I was hooked. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for people to get hooked, but first class, I was hooked. And so when I moved, about a year later, I moved to Indianapolis. I was so sad that I didn't have an opportunity for this specific yoga in Indianapolis. So I saw a sign that it was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, yep, 100%, I'm there, because I believed in the yoga.
Yeah.
So that wasn't anything yet about why you stick around because of the community. That was just, I want that exercise.
Yeah, so you had previous experience doing that form of yoga, and so you were all in.
Yes.
Okay, then you come into the Hot Room. Do you remember your first class?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and?
I remember my first class because I came in to check in, and at the desk they asked, like, have you ever done this before?
Uh-huh.
Because it was so new.
Yes.
I mean, most people coming in had never done this exercise before, and so they were hoping that someone had, so they could say, do you mind sitting up in the first row?
Yes, right.
So that's what they asked me. They're like, would you mind? Because I told them I had done it before, and I was like, yeah, sure. You know, so I just felt very like embraced and welcomed because they were excited to see me and know that I had done it before, and that maybe I could be an example for people as they're learning this new process. So right away, I felt like a place where I was needed, maybe.
I love that. Who knew?
Yeah. And I worked about 5 minutes away. I lived about 5 minutes away. I was like, this was dropped right here in this location for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you fall in love even more so with the yoga. You become part of the community. And remind me, what was that transition from being a member here and practicing here to actually wanting to be a part of the team?
Right. So you had encouraged people to become teachers, and I really was interested in becoming a teacher, but I had a typical like 8 to 5 career job, and so the thought of taking a month off to go to teacher training, because that was really your only option for teacher training then, I just didn't know that I could do it. And so I just leaned on you to have conversations about, like, I want to do the training, but I don't think it's possible. And from there, and you just kind of listened to me, but then you just encouraged me to continue to consider it. And then you opened up a door for me to get involved in a bigger way, that I could switch careers and jump over to the Hot Room and kind of make this my whole new gig because I was also wanting to start my own health coaching business.
I remember
So
that.
it allowed me to come into here and open up so many opportunities in my life that in work and live in a space that I wanted to be in.
Yeah, I remember getting to know you through the practice and thinking, how can I make this possible where she is by my side all the time? Because you were truly an ambassador to the practice of the yoga and the benefits of it, but you also were the person who I knew could help build community here in this space, right?
I think that you and I connected on our desire to help people live their happiest, healthiest life, and that we both kind of had that mission underneath us and driving us through different ways. Yours was the yoga, mine was nutrition more oriented, but we knew that we could blend that together to create more of an opportunity for people to be happy, be healthy, and achieve whatever they want to achieve in their life. So as I mentioned, this did not exist in Indianapolis. So what was it that brought you here to say, okay, this is what I'm supposed to build?
Yeah, it was never in the plan to open a yoga studio. But I also fell in love with the practice, and we had lived all over the world, and when it was time to come back to Indianapolis and there still wasn't access to this practice, it was one of those things where, well, I'll just have to build it myself then, right? So it was never in the plans, but it was meant to be that I did that because selfishly, I wanted that place to be able to practice, but also as I taught the yoga, I felt even more compelled that I had to share it with as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Now, I had practiced yoga so many different places that I knew, even though I didn't know a lot, I really didn't know a lot of things. When I opened the studio, right, like thinking about what the business was like 12 years ago, I had no clue.
Right.
But I did know what I wanted the experience to feel like when people came in here, because I learned through my experience how I didn't want to feel, which I've been in many yoga classes where I felt just not welcomed or just not the yoga type, or just the rooms lacked diversity. It was just the same kind of profile of a long, lanky, beautiful human. And I'm like, where's all the other people, right? But also how to make it welcoming and accessible, because I know that this yoga can change so many people's lives as it done for me, right? So I knew the experience that I wanted to create, and I knew the yoga itself was very powerful, but in order for people to come in and have the courage or even feel comfortable to try it, and also for them to try again, right? Because that first class, some may love it, and also some may be like, what was that, right? There had to be that experience that was very welcoming, supported, and also just cheering that person on and off their mat, right? And it was very clear to me what I want that experience to feel like, because there was a lot of classes where I didn't feel that way.
So the way you wanted people to feel when they came in, that was decided like before you opened up the first studio doors.
Yeah.
And that's continued forward, the same experience for 12 years, or has that adjusted or modified, or have you added things to that?
Yeah, I mean, every studio has its own unique feel in their own community, but I truly do believe what we've done a really good job at as we have grown is lived to our mission, which is to create community. No matter your age, shape, size, color, ability level, when you come into this space, you're going to feel very welcomed, inspired. You will feel challenged, but you'll feel that sense of community. And I think that has carried us through the past 12 years, and we do it really well. And I think we're very intentional about it too, right? It just doesn't happen by accident.
That sense of community and that understanding of everyone that walks through these doors, The goal is to just have them have a great experience, allow them to be challenged by the exercise and the workout, the different classes, but that is like something that is in the bones of all the studio and all the staff. They really, truly exude that. Mm-hmm. And that's so hard to achieve when you have a business, especially multiple doors. Yeah. And so it's really impressive that you have been able to instill that mission and that purpose in so many people.
Well, I am very lucky and grateful that I have people like you that I surround myself with that also believe in that mission, and they take it very seriously, like the obligation that we have when we do this kind of work. You know, I always tell folks that every single day we are making a very positive impact on people's lives, or even potentially saving people's lives.
Absolutely.
And we are taking that job very seriously. And so every person that walks through our doors should feel seen, supported, heard, cheered for. And that sense of community, once you're in it, you don't want to leave it, right? Or even if you do and you take a break, you crave for it again, right? That connection. And everybody who I'm surrounded by on the team, from the instructors to the front desk, I truly do believe they're obsessed. They're obsessed about our mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There is something special that happens in that room that doesn't happen in your normal facility, like workout facility or gym, that people are challenged in a way that no matter how different the person on the mat is next to them, they understand each other in a deeper way of like, okay, you're here doing this, you must be up to trying to achieve some good stuff in your life.
Yeah. And the diversity in the room.
Oh yeah.
From, you could have a 70-year-old member with a hip replacement to a high school star athlete, right? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And how lucky are we to every single day be in an environment that we get to connect with such a diverse community. Yeah. Like you wouldn't, I think that's one of the most beautiful things about growing this business is the people.
Yeah.
Every single day that we get to meet and connect with, and the conversations that we have, and people are amazing right there.
Yeah, I always loved when we would have some professional athletes come in and take a class, and very frequently they would come out of class after it was over and they would say, that's the hardest thing I've ever done. And you can imagine what they have done, like physical activity wise and fitness level wise, and to let them know, like, the person on the mat next to them has never done physical activity before.
Yeah.
You know, to have both of those levels in the room working towards the same goal, achieving the same stuff, and coming out knowing that was so worth it.
Yeah. That's incredible. A very special type of connection magic that's happening in that room.
Hey, Jen, what is your favorite memory, if you could pick one?
Oh boy, there are so many. I will never forget opening the doors to our first class with a line of people. That was overwhelming. I will never forget the moments where people come in and they are nervous, anxious. They start out in the back row, and then with just a few classes, you see them start to get really comfortable in their skin, and then all of a sudden they're in the front row. I love those moments. I love all the engagements that have happened at the hot room.
Oh yeah.
I love supporting people through all of their life events, you know, lots of pregnancies, right? Lots of yoga babies. And every single studio that we open, that whole process of welcoming a new community is just, it's hard to put into words. What's your favorite memory?
Oh, again, like you, so many. And I guess I would have to say when I transitioned from being a student to being staff here, that experience of just seeing things from a different perspective and feeling just a part of the community on a deeper level and getting to know people differently. Because then, you know, students come in and they're more likely to talk to me about things because I'm a staff member. And so I just got to know people better through that experience. So I remember the first shifts here, and those are definitely my favorite memories.
Yeah. Well, the past 12 years has been full of ups and downs.
Yes.
And the challenges that we have faced has really made us who we are, right? And I think has set us up for this next chapter. When you think about the challenges that we have endured, what comes to mind?
Well, I think like the most obvious glaring one that a lot of people can relate to is COVID. And as fitness facilities took a hard hit during the COVID outbreak, and then I think that it was such a good example of you knowing why you were here, why you created the hot room, what your mission was, because even if people couldn't come in these doors and we couldn't turn the heat on, you knew they needed the movement, they needed the community. And so you figured out how to make it available to people online while they were at home, and to keep them healthy, to keep them moving, to keep them engaged, and even more importantly, to keep them on a screen with a lot of other people and having connection with so many people that they needed that. And people didn't realize at the time, we didn't know how long this was going to go on or what we were going to endure, but you just said, okay, we're not giving this up. We have to give up lots of other things, but we're continuing this. And so you pulled your team together and said, we will continue to go.
Yeah.
And what was it during that time that like you feel like you knew you needed to do and execute as a leader? And how did you wake up every day and say, okay, I'm leading through this process?
Yeah, it goes back to our mission, right? Which is to build community. And whether our doors are closed and we don't have access to the hot room, like we can still do that. We just have to do it in other ways now. And I feel like we work hard all the time, but that time period, we have never worked harder. I mean, every single day we would wake up and we had a whole agenda of things that we were doing for our community, right? It just looked different, but we were still living our mission of building community and making sure that people took care of their minds and their bodies during a very challenging time.
And you did such a good job of embracing that, because we had people connected because we had uptown and downtown, North Shore. So people who weren't used to seeing each other, and now they're on a screen doing the yoga together. And so you embrace trying to like connect them kind of in different studios and create a bigger community of people through that process.
I will always remember waking up, I think it was a Saturday morning, and there was an outdoor class happening uptown. There was an outdoor class happening downtown next to the studio. There was an outdoor class happening on Mass Ave. And then there was a running group, like a hot room running group, right? And I'm like, even though COVID, I would never want to go through that time again. It was so beautiful to witness all of that and how we came together and how the hot room was able to make such a positive impact in the community during a very challenging time.
Yeah, you understood that people needed this more than ever. People needed this during COVID, and you didn't let all of the barriers that came with it stop you from making sure they still had it.
Yeah. And in the midst of COVID, we also had to navigate your accident.
Right.
Which, if I look back on the last 12 years, that was probably the hardest thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, there was a lot of other like hardships going on during that time for a lot of people, but my life kind of stopped. In the midst of all of that, my life stopped, and I spent a lot of time doing the therapy that I needed to do to try and heal and get as best as I could. And I had so much support from the hot room community, like in a way that wasn't just coming in the studio and catching up and saying hi, but just everyone wanted to do whatever I needed or whatever could happen for them to support me. And so it just really opened my eyes to like the depth of the community that was built at the Hot Room through my accident. And still to this day, I spend a lot of time with, you know, whether I'm here teaching, but even outside of the Hot Room, that's who I spend a lot of time with, are different individuals from the studio who I've been able to build friendships with, and they are my community still, you know, my network of people. And it's just been incredible from my experience to be supported by the community, not just a member of the community, but to be supported by the community. And then I have witnessed the community show up so big when we've lost important members of our family and staff, and people just turn up for each other, because even though it is such a diverse group of individuals in that room, we are bonded by something bigger, and we understand that we need each other. And so we show up for each other.
Yeah. And as we go into this next chapter, or when other challenges hit us, I feel like we can do anything. If we can navigate what we've not, had to endure the last 12 years, we survived a very tragic accident. You're back in the studio serving in the way that you are. With our community, anything is possible.
Yes, because you have been so grounded in making sure the mission from the day you opened up the first door, that has been the focus and the driving force through all of the studios, that it has maintained that importance and that depth of importance for everyone, because you stayed so grounded in the mission.
Mm-hmm. So for a while now, we have talked about how we make a bigger impact in the communities, and we can only do so much. We have talked about not only growing the impact that we have in our local communities with the number of studios that we own, but also giving others access to build their own hot rooms in their communities. That was always a big long-term vision of ours, and I'm so excited to take that next chapter.
So you mentioned growth and expanding. How are you doing that? What does that mean?
I've always talked for a long time about that long-term vision of giving others the opportunity to open hot rooms in their local communities. And I'm so excited to say, after being 12 years in the business, I can confidently say that we are ready to take that next chapter, which is franchising our business and allowing the right people to take our brand and be able to make an impact in their communities. This is not about expansion. It's more about impact. It's more about like making a bigger impact in more places beyond the Midwest.
Wow. Incredible.
I'm so excited and thrilled that we're doing this together. How do you feel about being at this point where we get to share the hot room and allow others to bring it to their communities?
Well, I think that everyone should have access to this. And we kind of tried to bridge some of that gap with the Hot Room Now, giving it online access, but to be able to place hot room facilities in different locations is huge, because people need this access, in my opinion. They need to be able to go to this place to get the original hot yoga and get the Pilates and all the different types of classes that we offer, but also to have access to this community. They need that.
And I truly, truly believe the last 12 years, going from the first studio to 7 studios, we have learned so much. And I feel very confident that we have the people, the systems, the processes, the experience to help others do the same. So this next chapter is about allowing people to be a part of our brand and being up to something really big. And in each community, they have a chance to change so many lives with our support. We have the proven model, years of experience, the coaching, the support, the passion that you're going to receive from people like Laura and I. I can't wait to support people in a different way now.
Is there any sort of community you're ideal targeting, or do you think it could be available anywhere?
I mean, I really do think I think yoga should be for anyone and everyone, right?
Yeah.
So there will be a process where we will identify where the best markets are to start with our expansion. But really what I'm looking for is the right people,
Right.
the right people to do this together. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Laura, what are you most grateful for? I know that's a big question.
I know, that is a big question.
And what are you most excited for as we head into this next chapter?
I think that I am most grateful for the opportunity for people to realize that there are things available to them that maybe they wouldn't have considered before, or they wouldn't have given themselves enough credit or encouragement enough to go after. So specifically, I'm thinking of individuals who had never thought they would teach a yoga class or a Pilates class or vinyasa class, that was never on their radar, that coming in here and doing something different has given them a chance to see themselves differently and to accomplish different things.
Yeah.
And now take on a new challenge in their life and continue to grow. Because when people become adults, a lot of times they think, okay, I'm done, but they're not done. And the Hot Room has opened people's eyes to that. And I think I'm most grateful for that, to see people go through that journey.
Same. I'm so grateful for every person who's walked through our doors and allowed us to share this community and this transformative practice. I'm so grateful for people like you who it's just not even possible for me to do this by myself. It's a village of people, and the support that I have from people like you and the rest of our team is what makes this possible. And I can't wait in this next chapter to see people access a higher version of themselves by having the opportunity to open their own hot room and be a business owner, to see them make an impact in their local communities, how fulfilled they are going to be, and we'll be there to support them every step of the way.
Yeah.
So the Hot Room has always been about belonging, transformation, community, and I'm so excited to help other leaders be able to do the same thing in their local communities. First, I want to thank you, Laura, for being on this journey with us for the last 12 years, and I cannot wait to see what we can do in this next chapter and all that's to come. Thank you, Team Hot Room. We'll see you on your mat.